excited. All right, here we go. So welcome to Master the Game. I'm Juice. Sorry for the delay. A lot of good stuff going on with the channel. As you guys know, if you've been following me for any amount of time, we play a variety of tabletop RPGs on this channel. Last night we wrapped up our one-shot. It was a two-part one-shot of Dragon Age. And I have to say, I really enjoyed the system. It was my very first time actually playing the Age system. And I've owned this book for a few years now. You can see, it's been on my shelf for a while. You can see down here, the pages are flush with the cover at the bottom from sitting on a bookshelf so long. And at the top, there's a huge gap. So you can tell I've owned this for a while. Honestly, I've been wanting to play this since, I think, 2014, 2015. I'm a big fan of the video games. And I have to admit, the system didn't let me down. I don't know the system in and out. I'm sure we made mistakes in both of our games, but we had a good time, and that's what counts. Nobody there was really familiar with the video games except for my wife and I, and that was okay. It didn't make it any more difficult. In fact, we did a really simple Grey Warden Initiate one shot. They were level 1, which technically to become Grey Wardens, they're supposed to be level 6, but I wanted to tell a specific story. And I made the Grey Warden recruiter a woman named Claire, who led them to this place, told them they had to go on without her while she took care of some other business. We had, I think, 8 total recruits, 5 of which were players. The other recruits were not involved in any of the combats or anything like that. And it was a lot of fun. When we did the joining at the end, I'm not going to spoil it, but I enjoyed having the way we did it, like having the different recruits fail the joining and things like that. And there's mechanics for the joining. There's mechanics for if Darkspawn want to taint the player characters, for example. There's all sorts of cool stuff like that in this system. So if you are looking for a simple system, it's 3d6. I used these d6. You have to have one that's different than the others, okay? And the reason is because when you roll the 3d6, if you roll doubles on any of these dice, then however many is on this one different die are the amount of stunt points you get. With those stunt points, you can pay to do extra attacks, extra damage, stun the creatures, do a defensive action after, all sorts of different things. And that's in combat. If you do a spell, there's different stunts. If you're in the midst of a social encounter, it's different stunts. Exploration, different stunts. In fact, in exploration, you can spend those points to have an advantageous positioning in case combat comes up. You can increase your chances to discover things, things like that. So it was really cool. And I think the system really lends itself to playing a game that feels like the video game a little bit. Now, if you're not familiar, Green Ronin Publishing, where is it? Here they are. Green Ronin Publishing. They make the Fantasy Age system, which is the same as this pretty much. They make the Modern Age system, and they also make Blue Rose. They make other games, but those ones use the Age system, and that's just 3d6, stunt die, or dragon die, or whatever you want to call it, and you get points to spend to do other cool stuff. The points actually, it kind of serves almost like a critical, like that's what's in place of a critical. So again, I really like this system. I can't recommend it enough. So if you're interested in a game like that, go check it out. If you think you want to try it sometime, head on over to my Discord. The link should be in the description. You can join the Discord. We talk about this game and other games over there. Like I said, we run a variety of games. We've got Call of Cthulhu on Thursdays. We've got D&D 5e 3 Saturdays out of the month. We've got a Pathfinder 2nd Edition campaign that we do every other Friday. In fact, that's coming up this Friday. Currently, we're playing Fall of Plaguestone. We also are going to have a Dragon Age campaign starting up very shortly, every other Tuesday. So we were doing Beckme, or the Rule Cyclopedia. Unfortunately, our DM got a little bit busy, so he had to step away for now. Hopefully, we pick that back up. We're doing Keep on the Borderlands, the Goodman Games version, the reissue. And we were having a blast. Unfortunately, he's just swamped with work and just can't keep it up. He's, probably facing some burnout, and I completely get that. I tend to feel burnout normally up through this point, starting usually in like February. I really start to feel it, sometimes in January. And this year I did feel really burnt out. Unfortunately, I pushed through it. I did take a little bit of a break, and then this month I was feeling a little more energized. I started working on my 30-day world building, which right here, this is my graphic for that. I started doing my 30-day world building, and I got to day 10, and I hit a wall. I was struggling to come up with like video ideas for these prompts. And when I hit that wall, so I am actually 11 days behind right now. I will be finishing this. There is no doubt about it. And when I am done, everything I write will go into a document that I will share with my patrons. So my world is called Thakos. And the funny story about that is my wife named my world Thakos. And it's awesome. I absolutely love my world. But some of the prompts are a little bit hard for me. I'm not somebody who was like a geography major and or anything like that. So I'm refocusing myself, but I'm getting back at those videos tomorrow. Now, some of the other stuff that is going on that I'm really excited about. Like I said, we've got some Pathfinder games going on, but Pathfinder Paizo sent me a couple Pathfinder products recently. They sent me this beautiful book. This is The Ruins of Gauntlight, and this is a $25 product, MSRP here in the United States. I'll read the back to you. It says, "Enter the Mega Dungeon. When the mysterious lighthouse called Gauntlight glows with baleful light, the people of Otari know it's an ominous prelude to sinister events. The town's newest heroes must explore the ruins around the lighthouse and delve down into the dungeon levels beneath it. Hideous monsters, deadly traps, and vengeful ghosts all await the heroes who dare to enter the sprawling mega dungeon called the Abomination Vaults. The Abomination Vaults adventure path begins with Ruins of Gauntlight, a complete adventure for 1st to 4th level characters." So in other words, this means there will be a few more books. This is in fact book 1 of 3. Well, you can see it right here. And it looks great. I was looking at this the other day. I don't know if I'm going to run it or not on the channel. I kind of like the idea of giving it a shot. I really like running dungeons. I do. But the thing I will say about dungeons is I think it's important when doing a dungeon crawl, especially online, to use some sort of virtual tabletop or use some kind of visuals. One, I'm not very good at explaining like where things are lying in relation to the characters. I'm not good at remembering placement of all the characters, all the monsters, and then also remembering, who's used what actions, what conditions are in play. For me, with Pathfinder 2nd Edition, while I really enjoy the system, I really struggle as a DM keeping track of all the moving pieces. The math is not hard in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I'm going to say that right now. In fact, Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I think, is well balanced. I think the math is really simple. I like a lot of the concepts in it. The things I'm struggling with at the moment that I believe they're fixing in the next in the next Monster Manual, Bestiary, they're doing like hordes of monsters. So it's almost like a swarm. So you might have 10 zombies on the battlefield, and rather than keeping track of 10 different monsters' actions, you just have one stat block, one set of actions for them, and that. So I think that is going to be extremely helpful. And so, we'll see how that goes. I'm really excited to see that book and to try that out. But right now, that's the one thing I struggle with, is keeping track of like ongoing conditions, persistent damage, and all of that, as well as remembering how many monsters you have, all three of their actions. What I usually do when I'm playing an RPG is I'll move the combatants in combat. And then from there, I decide everyone's actions, right? So I usually break it up like that. I know that I should do it each individual monster, but it's just a habit I've gotten into over the years of playing games online, and even in person. Sometimes I do that with miniatures. Love miniature play personally. And maybe that's the trick. Maybe I need to use miniatures on a table, since that's what I'm comfortable with and I'm used to, and I just need to get a second camera. Maybe that's what I need to do. The other book they sent me, and I consider this a must-have if you are a Pathfinder 2nd Edition fan, and that is the Lost Omens Ancestry Guide. So this book, I thought it was going to be filled with a ton of lore. It has some, but no, it is like front to back, more options. You have so much in here. So I'm just going to go into the table of contents here and just go through it. So like, you get expanded ancestries and heritages. So it's stuff that's already in the game from previous books. And it basically just gives you more options, more feats, more, just more, right? That's page 6 through 63. On page 64, you have new ancestries and heritages. And in this section, there's the people that, it's funny. I've seen a lot of conversations online, and a lot of people are having a hard time wrapping their head around androids and how they might have a uncommon heritage, such as a Dhampir android. Now, a Dhampir is like a vampire. I mean, that's the most basic way I can explain this. And so when you layer that onto something like an android, which is a robot, people are like, well, how would a robot turn into a vampire? And how would it have this thing? Well, the thing to remember is androids are basically, they're aliens. They're not from Galarian originally. I mean, maybe at this point they are, but the very first ones were from another planet. So maybe they're not like actual androids how we know it. Maybe they are literally just another species that, you can create. That's whatever. Like, you can actually create through normal ways of reproduction and stuff. I don't know. I'm going to go to the page right now because I actually have not read what it says an actual android is, but I felt like it would be very easy to justify it. So here's an android. And the other thing is you don't have to allow these things in your games if you're playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Androids first arrived Galarian, blah, 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 from the stars. Yeah. They have no understanding of their surroundings, origin, or purpose. Most learn how to behave through keen observation while wandering Numeria. Androids tend to be logical introverts, rational, blah, blah, blah. Synthetic foreigner in a fantastic world, forced to learn the nuances of reality and society through the powers of observation and logic alone. You should play an android. They have a history of being exploited, enslaved, and destroyed by their Numerian neighbors. So they hide in order to survive. Yeah, I think, it's fine. I think you just play them as a normal character, like you would, and just think of them more as aliens rather than robots. But yeah, so there's that. That's one of the more interesting new ancestries in the game. And more so because it's more controversial, I feel. But there's some cool ones in here. You can be a pixie, which I think is called a Strix, if I remember right. Sprite. So they have a Sprite, which would be your pixies. Strix, Geniekin. So you have the different types of genies. So that would be Ifrit, Oread, Sully, Sylph, and Undine. So my wife we did a solo campaign in 1st edition Pathfinder in 2013 or 14. I think it was 13. And she played an Oracle, an Azamar Oracle. But because it was a solo campaign, just her and I let her also make an Oread Barbarian, almost as her tank. And we did a couple little adventures. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, so I I'm probably going to recreate her Oriad Barbarian now. Maybe I'll make that old party. Looking at the look up her old character sheets. There's Beastkin, Flesh Warps, Gonzi, Aphorites. So yeah, that's page 64 through 132. So that's a lot of pages. You're gonna have a lot of feats, things like that. And then you get into the ancestral gear for a few pages and the glossary and index. Again, I think it's a must-have book if you like Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I feel like there's enough options now that you shouldn't grow tired of this game for a long time. I mean, this game, if you like the system, I would think you would be held over for a long time now. Like, I know a lot of people, including myself, are really looking forward to the Guns and Gears book that's supposed to come out. I know a lot of people are looking forward to the, what is it, Mysteries of Magic or something like that, or Secrets of Magic or something like that. That one's going to be cool. It's going to have summoners. It's going to have it's going to have your, what is it called again? Not your Eldritch Knight. I can't think of what it's called. I don't know. Anyways, it's going to be awesome. I already know it. And for people who have played a lot of Pathfinder, again, that once you have those, I think you're going to have all the classes you had before that made you really happy. And yeah, so 2021, good year for Pathfinder 2nd Edition fans. With that, the book, The Trouble in Otari, I think will go well with this. So give you plenty of information to run games in that area and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just a good system. So in the next few months, we've got on the channel a few things going on. We've got, like I said, we're playing Pulp Cthulhu on Thursdays, or Call of Cthulhu, using Pulp Cthulhu rules. Pulp Cthulhu just makes your characters more survivable. You can do more action-oriented things. Like I said, every other Tuesday, we're going to have a Dragon Age campaign. We're probably going to play a 2nd edition AD&D game as well. After that kind of wraps up, I think it's going to be a shorter campaign, and then we're going to go into the 2nd edition AD&D. We might play Alien RPG on this channel. We've been talking about that for a while, so that might happen. We've got some fun stuff. Miniature painting is returning April 7th. Paula will be on. We will be painting miniatures right here in this very spot. And I have a blue dragon over there that's from Magecraft Miniatures. It's like this long, about that tall. It's really cool. The wingspan is about that long. So it's a really big miniature. And I can't wait to see how my wife paints that. I was gonna paint it, but I've got cold feet because I feel like I'm gonna ruin it. My wife's the better painter. So we've got other miniatures, which you can see like right here. She started this before we had to take some time off from miniature painting. We'll probably do this after we finish that dragon. I can't wait for the Balrog to be finished. That's a cool one. Here's some other ones that she's started but hasn't finished. That one's cool with the red dragon head. This is a Reaper Bones miniature too, by the way. Looks really good. We have this little female monk too that's really cool. That's one of our player characters for our home campaign that we have not met in person for in over a year now. But that is for our Blackrock Adventures game, which is played one Saturday every month. We rotate campaigns. We've got Descent into Avernus, which is coming up this Saturday. The following Saturday, we have Tyranny of Dragons, followed by Blackrock Adventurers. And then we have a free Saturday every month that I try to run a session for my patrons. Next month, in April, we are actually going to be picking up a Blue Rose campaign. It's going to have a session 0, and we are going to play it every 4 weeks. We have 3 sessions, and we'll see what happens in those 3 sessions. I think that's the full length of what we're going to do. Playing with Joseph Carricker, who works for Green Ronin. We're going to be the person running it his name is Aaron. We also have Matt Barnes, who's a member of the Absolute Tabletop group. And we have Michael from Unmade Gaming, who's also going to be playing in that game. And I am I am extremely stoked about that. I think it's going to be a really good game to play, and I can't wait. So we've got that, and when that wraps up, that it should be in August. So come August, we'll be looking for a new campaign to take that spot, or we'll just continue the one shots there. In the meantime, we'll be running one shots for our patrons on a different night of the week. It might be on Fridays, might be Thursdays. I don't know. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat. I'll happily answer them. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. I know it's almost over. Monday, back to the grind, But yeah, that kind of sums up most stuff. We do have some sponsored things coming up. I'm not going to say anything prematurely, but there are some things I'm waiting on, and we will be doing some some sponsored videos, and things like that. I am extremely excited about those. I don't want to jump the gun. Like I said, I've done that in the past. I've given props to different companies and stuff that said they were going to send me something or whatever, or pay me. They didn't come through on it. I stand by what I say. But it's always hard. I try not to do that anymore. So with that, there are some really cool companies out there that I do want to quickly shout out. Like I said, Magecraft Miniatures earlier, great company. Really awesome 3D prints. In fact, let me grab this dragon. It's right here. So, all right, I got it on a tray here. So this is the dragon. It's really cool. You can see. Let's see, how's it stand? There it goes. I haven't messed with this in a minute. They sent this to me a while ago. We were trying to get it done back in November. They unfortunately didn't get it sent to me in time. They sent it, for some reason, my Etsy account hadn't been updated in a really long time, and so it sent to a different address from 2 years ago. So yeah, and then here's one of the wings. You can see how massive it is over here. I think that's where it goes. Is that where it goes? Yeah, it has to be where it goes. Oh, I'm not putting it on right. There it goes. Like that. So this is how that wing's going to go. It's going to be huge. Go check out Magecraft Miniatures if you want to purchase that. I think this is the $60 one, maybe $80. I don't remember. But it's really cool. Another company I want to shout out that I love is Tactical Tokens. Now, Tactical Tokens has... they make these... I have to grab this. They're really cool. Tactical Tokens is awesome. So I went to Michael's. I think you can get these at Hobby Lobby. This little magnetic book thing. Anyways, here's the Tactical Tokens inside. Okay. Now the Tactical Tokens, they do. Here's the logo, so you can go check them out. Tactical Tokens. Check them out on Twitter if you want to see what he's got. They have pre-made tokens now. They have like pictures of different monsters. But these are what they are. They're about an inch. This is a single one. However, if you take, you can see they stick together. They're not sticky. Like they're just like a plasticky material. They bend. They're very durable, but they stick together. The cool thing about that is you can get the colored ones too. And you can make them like a condition, like, green means they are poisoned. You stick it on the bottom. Bloop. Oh, if I can get it to stick now. Now that I'm saying they stick together, I can't get it to stick. Might be too cold out here too. Okay, there we go. Got it to stick. So they stick it together, boom. Now here's the other thing you can do, right? So say you got dry erase. Could call this P1. So this might be your player 1. Boop. And then with the... Actually, you could put the token on the top too and still see it through it. See? Oops. The light was messing with it. So there you go. So tactical tokens are really cool. I'm a big fan. And these probably should be what I use for online play because they're really easy to see from an overhead. I can make monsters different colors. They come in different sizes. So Here's a variety of sizes, depending on your games. Got this massive one, right? So yeah, you've got those. He can do customs. I don't know if he's offering that at the moment. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't, based on, I think, his schedule and how busy he is. So you might want to check that out. But I did get my logo as a custom token. One side has a 20, the other side's a 1. Serves as like a D2. So I can always just go bloop and land on 20. So that'd be the 2, right? So yeah, so those are cool. Also had some made for my wife. Made her a logo a while back since she paints miniatures on my channel. She has a Twitter account, but there's her logo. Very cool. I love them. I absolutely love the tactical tokens. Highly recommend them. I'm going to be painting this book, Mod Podging it up, and then slapping my logo on top of this book because that's just awesome. So yeah, we've got some cool stuff there. Another thing I'm going to shout out is this. So this is a really cool booklet. It's called Roleplay. They sent this to me not too long ago. It's written and designed by Sam Bartlett. It's the Game Master's Fantasy Toolkit. I believe they did a Kickstarter. It tells you how to use the book, different contents it's got. A lot of random tables. And you can follow him on Instagram and all that stuff. I think I originally I may have found him on Pinterest before I went over to Instagram. But you got different kinds of names, for example, on this page. So it's a really cool thing to have at the table. Details about characters. Appearance features. They have wrinkled skin, and their right hand has been replaced with a hook. Character motives, adventure motivations, villainous origins. Campaign ideas, first meetings. So those are cool. How does the party meet? An adventurer is starting a guild and has requested the characters join them. So these are D20 tables on this page. Campaign ideas. Sightings of large, gangly, fur-covered humanoids cannot be explained. World building section, which is pretty cool. Town characteristics, economics, governments and leadership, local attractions, bounty posters. Cool stuff here. Rumors and gossip. I love stuff like that in my games. Markets and shops. Shop descriptions. Drinks, food and rations. Taverns and inns. Names, prices. All sorts of cool stuff there. That's awesome. Peter Ruin, just popping on to say hi and to thank you for the sheer amount of laughter and enjoyment Sloppy Sherman and company gave me in the Beck Me campaign. Oh, dude, I love hearing that. Before you go, we are on hold on that campaign. We're hoping to pick that up again in a couple months. The DM is he's a little swamped right now with work. Thank you for stopping in, though, and we will be playing that some more, I hope, in the near future. Until then, Draven is going to run a game on our channel on Tuesdays, and I think it's going to be Dragon Age at first, and then we might play some AD&D 2nd edition after that. So it'll be like a short Dragon Age game, and then we'll jump into the AD&D, and that'll be every other Tuesday in the slot of Beck Me until we can play Beck Me again. Keep on the Borderlands. So yeah, thanks, dude. I really appreciate that. Busking Bards. The song being performed is all about a tax collector who spent all of the money he amassed on a cursed mansion. Wow. Okay. That's kind of funny. I'm going to skip a bunch here. Different encounters based on regions, swamps, mountains. This is a cool book. It's out. The company is out of England, I think. So it's like 14 pounds or something like that down here. I think that's the I don't know. I'm an ignorant American, unfortunately, but I think that's the pounds symbol. 14 pounds. I think it's like with shipping, if you're in America, I think it's like $30. So totally understandable. I nearly crashed my car on the way to work with LBJ testing the ring. So he's playing in another one of my games. I think it's Tyranny of Dragons on Saturdays. We play that every 4 weeks. And one of the characters had casted light on a stone, And in that game, his barbarian now is looking for stones that light up because he thinks that it was a magical stone. He didn't realize the other character was casting the light cantrip. So, yeah, Peter, who plays that character, is hilarious. He runs our Call of Cthulhu game on Thursday nights. The Call of Cthulhu game is the only weekly game we play where we play pretty much every single Thursday. We will be missing at the end of this month. So on April, I think it's the last day of this month, and then April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, we will not have any games on this channel because we are having some plumbing work done. We're having we're redoing our bathroom, and we will not have water at the house. So we will not be home, so we will not be streaming any games that weekend for those 4 days. But if things go well, then we'll be right back at it right after that. So Magical Encounters, Corrupted Encounters. This is a good product. So yeah, I highly recommend it. They're doing right now something. They're doing like some individual class things right now for another book like this. I don't know exactly what's going to be in that. I haven't paid too much attention to it, but if it's anything like this, it'll be worth it. So you can check that out. Highly recommend it. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else in particular lately that I've been meaning to shout out and give props to. Strange Machine Games, Age Past, Super Age, go check those out. Power Outage RPG is more like a kid's superhero game. Story Engine deck up here. So this Story Engine deck is awesome. I'm going to pull it down real quick. I'll probably wrap up my stream right after I look at this, but I've got all the expansions. Oh, come on. I've got all the expansions and the core set. Now, this is awesome. This, you can play it as a game by itself. It's just a storytelling game. There's a lot of ways to play it. It has different types of cards. This kind of tells you the different cards right here. You can rotate the cards for different prompts, and they're really cool. So I'll show you guys quickly these expansions too. They're really awesome. Where did you get that book? Looks interesting. Missed where you ordered it from. So I can't remember. I think they're just role play on Instagram. Okay, here's the website. www.rollandplaypress.com. So you can go there and check it out. It's, I want to say 14 pounds. I don't know. I'm an ignorant American, like I said. But I think it came out to be like $30 if I remember right. So go check that out. It's really cool. As for the Story Engine deck, I did a guest blog post for them as well as reviewed this not too long ago. And I think this is awesome. I think you can get everything for like $130 or something. I don't remember now. It's been like 2 months now. Speaking of Peter, please no car wrecks, drive safe, and I will find that stone. You will, Peter. I'm sure one day you will. So here's one of the booster sets. This is for Steampunks. It's a booster. Cog Hearts and Steam Souls is that one. This one is Jack Boots and Chainlink. It's a dystopian booster. These are really small. They don't have a ton of cards in those. These ones right here are a little thicker. There's 3 of the thicker ones. I'll get to those in a second. This one says Wastelands and Wanderers. It's a post-apocalyptic booster. I haven't played with all of the boosters yet. Mythwalkers and Eternals, mythology booster. And with these, me and my wife have goofed around with this a couple times, just like seeing if we could tell some fun little short stories to each other. And it was fun for a little while. The little while we did it, I should say. For me, I like to use prompts when I'm prepping. If I don't have an idea for a homebrew game, or where I want things to go or whatever, I will either use like Rory's Story Cubes or the Story Engine deck or things like that. Sometimes I'll just go through Pinterest, through some of my boards and see what inspires me, stuff like that. This one is Dark Crafts and Ancient Horrors. It's an Eldritch Horror booster. This one is Circuits and Cybernetics. It's a cyberpunk booster. And then you got the 3 bigger decks like I was talking about. So this is Written in Dragonfire. This is the fantasy expansion. This is the science fiction expansion called Written in the Light of Strange Worlds. And this one is Written in Ash and Bone, and this is a horror expansion. Again, I can't recommend this enough. I think this is one of the coolest products out there that has like random prompts. The cards are cool. Just like the amount of possibilities is cool. Again, highly recommend it. So definitely check that out. Yeah, we've got a couple things coming up sponsor wise that I don't want to get anyone too excited about. Some of these things were sponsored, some of them were not. Like this was not a sponsored thing. This I bought, so I like it. It's cool. These were sponsored, so but they were cool. I saw this product and I was like, I really, really, really want these. And so I reached out to him, worked out a deal, and he graciously sent them to me. It's a company from Canada. His name's Peter. Peter Tchaikovsky, I think is his name. And it's the Story Engine deck. If you just Google Story Engine deck, you should be able to find it. He's got a Twitter. Things like there's a Cthulhu that my wife painted. We haven't glued it yet because we never finish miniatures 100% around here. We only finish them like 90%. So he's unfinished, not sealed. Me touching him is going to wear off some of the paint and he's going to fall apart on me here. So, good stuff. Let's see. What else? I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that about wraps that up. About what I wanted to talk about tonight. Wanted to do a bunch of videos today. We went for a walk earlier, and it was our first walk of the year for going on a hike basically, and I was really tired when we got back. So yeah, Peter, if you end up buying that book and you like it, let me know. Let them know that you saw it here too. If there's a chance that there's a notes section or something, because that always helps us out. But yeah. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up there. Again, we have Dragon Age coming up here in a couple weeks. I got to set a date with Draven and the players. I think we're going to look for 4 or 5 players for that game. We might pull from the patrons for that. And that'll be a short campaign. And then after that, we will jump over to, like I said, I think we're going to do advanced 2nd edition D&D. I have these beautiful collector's edition green books from the reprints, and I'm pretty excited to try playing that again. It's been a while since I played that, so my wife's actually looking forward to doing that. So good night. We'll be checking out your other games and vids. I will mention where I heard about the book if I get it. Awesome. Have a good night, dude, and we'll see you next time. My world building, like I said, I'm going to get back at it. It's just, I put it on hold. I've just been so busy, and not only busy, just real life, and I was feeling a little burnt out. Once you hit that like wall, like trying to be creative is hard sometimes when you feel burnout. And for me, world building is something that I do need to be in a specific mindset. So, I'm going to get back to that. I really want to get it done. I'm 11 days behind. As of tomorrow, I'll be 12 days behind. But I'll get a video filmed and up hopefully tomorrow night. Maybe a couple of videos. Maybe they'll be a little bit quicker just to play catch up. But hopefully the quality will still be there for you guys. I don't like putting out crappy videos. A couple of the videos I've already recorded multiple times and I didn't like them, so I didn't release them. Like I think the food one, I recorded multiple times before I finally uploaded that, and I think the animals one I did the same thing where I recorded a couple times and then finally did one I liked and put that one up. So if you guys are interested in joining in on the world building, we are talking about that over on the Discord. You can see it here. Here's the prompts. So you could see day 8 and day 9 were food and farmed animals. I struggled with how I wanted to present that. And when I did it, I find it took a few tries. Climate and seasons, I know what I want to talk about. There's 2 specific things that I'm interested in discussing there. Trade routes and travel. And again, a lot of this goes back to day 2 with drawing the map. So I already had maps drawn. So it's, wasn't easy to come up with something to talk about and how to present what I wanted to. And some of these things might not apply to your world building or whatever, but again, we'll get back to it. Not too worried about it cramming it into every day of this month. It might spill over into April a little bit, but ultimately, I want it to be something I'm proud of before I put it out. So that's the kicker. I want to be proud of my work. So we'll continue doing that though, and again, hopefully you guys will like those videos. They haven't got the views that I thought they would. I thought we'd do a little better. I think the last couple of videos only had like 20 views, which is really bad for my channel. And again, if you're not into that stuff, you don't have to watch that. I don't want you to go pad my stats or whatever. At the end of this month or after I'm done with the 30-day challenge, I will reevaluate, and if it's something people aren't interested in, I won't do it. I do know people tend to be interested in me talking about hot topics in the community. People like it when I see a meme and people commenting on something, taking a specific hot take, and then I do a video on that. When other YouTubers take a hot take and do a video, and I do a response video, people like that. So maybe that's what I'll do more of. If that's what people want to see on the channel, we'll continue our live play so you can see how I play. I'm a more casual player. I'm not a extremely immersive player. I'm not a method actor. I don't do funny voices. I consider myself a more casual player. I like to play. I like to roll dice and have some fun, and that's it. And I don't like stepping on people's toes. If somebody else wants to be the star of the show, I'm going to let them. If somebody wants to be an investigator, I'm going to let them. If somebody wants to be a hack and slash player, I will jump in and hack and slash with them. So I try not to overshadow other players, and I think that's where my lane is, and I try to stay in that lane. I try to complement other characters in that regard. Not in game. I'm totally adversarial with other players sometimes. Because I think that's fun. I think having a little bit of headbutting between characters is a good time. So yeah, and that's just my style. I love when there's strong role players in the group. I love talking about mechanics, love talking about builds. I love that stuff. It's interesting to me. That's not for everybody. I don't always talk about builds on the channel, but I do like talking about that with my friends and stuff. I love talking about house rules. I like coming up with house rules. I don't use a lot of house rules in my games, usually because to me, it should be a group decision. And if the whole group doesn't agree on it, you shouldn't use a bunch of house rules. That's my take and how I run games. So that's just how I am. But anyways, I'm going to wrap it up, go take a shower, maybe watch a show and go to bed. Thank you guys for watching this quick live stream. If you like this, give me a like. Maybe I'll do some more streams like this. I like just throwing on a camera and talking to you guys. I've always thought that was a good time, and enjoy your guys' feedback, your questions. If you're having problems with a specific situation, always love answering things like that and helping out when I can. And I don't have all the answers, but I can give you my perspective, and hopefully it helps people. I really enjoy helping people with their stuff too. So with that, this was Master the Game. I am Juice. Game on. Bye.